Iran leadership is shaken by the overnight US airstrikes that struck 3 of its key nuclear sites. The fury in Tehran is palpable. Officials have promised everlasting consequences, but behind the closed doors, the mood must be tense and uncertain. Well, now the biggest question is, will Iran strike back, risking a wider war, or heed President Trump's calls to negotiate, an act that in practical would mean surrendering its own right to enrich uranium on its own soil? Well, survival of the Islamic Republic itself hangs in the balance. Many commanders, already wary after years of Israeli covert operations, now wonder if the next Israeli airstrike will find them, or if someone in their midst has betrayed them to Mossad. Paranoia and urgency shapes every conversation. Well, 3 paths lie before Iran, each fraught with peril. There is a powerful urge for revenge. Iran has been humiliated, first by Israel and now by the United States, the great Satan of its revolutionary mythology. The ongoing exchange of fire with Israel has already depleted Iran's missile stockpiles, but enough remains to threaten US interests. Iran's military strategist eyes a list of some 20 US bases across the Middle East. The headquarters of US Navy's 5th Fleet in Bahrain is an obvious target, though attacking a Gulf neighbor could backfire diplomatically. More likely, Iran may activate its proxy in Iran and Syria to strike isolated US outposts, places like At-Tanf, Ain al-Assad or Erbil, where it has acted before. The memory of Qasem Soleimani's assassination lingers. In fact, in 2020, Iran's retaliation was measured, avoiding any American casualties. This time, the gloves may come off. In fact, Iran's Revolutionary Guards have drilled relentlessly for sworn attacks on US warships using drones and fast boats to overwhelming defenses. In fact, the Houthis in Yemen could be called upon to renew attacks on Western shippings, disrupting trade routes between the Indian Ocean and the Red Sea. And then there is cyber warfare. Iran's hackers, among the world's most sophisticated, could unleash malware on US networks, sowing chaos far from the battlefield. Patience is a weapon too. Iran could wait for the current alert to fade, then strike when the US is less prepared. Surprise attack on diplomatic missions, trade interest, or even target assassinations could come weeks or even months after now. But delayed retaliation risks provoking another round of US strikes, just as ordinary Iranians begin to recover from the latest crisis. Well, the hardest part is restraint. By holding fire, Iran could avoid further escalation and keep the doors open for diplomacy. Its foreign minister insists Iran never left the negotiation table. It was the US and Israel who walked away. But returning to talks would mean accepting the US-Israeli demands. All uranium enrichment must happen abroad. Well, such a concession would be a bitter pill, raising questions about sovereignty and national pride. Yet, doing nothing risks making regime look weak, undermining its authority at home after years of promising dire consequences for any US attack. Ultimately, Iran's leaders must weigh the risk of appearing vulnerable against the danger of provoking a war they cannot win. The world waits, anxious to see which path they choose.